Let's talk in Parliament about the construction of mega refineries in order to tackle the soaring price of fuel. There's also consensus from members in the House that high fuel prices are a national crisis. Some of the proposals that came up during a debate on the fuel price yesterday include a possible fuel levy suspension. Let's talk about this with Sahlulele Luzipho, Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Mineral Resources and Energy. A very good afternoon to you, sir. Welcome to Daytime Update. I want to pick up on the point about the suggestion that South Africa may perhaps need to now start building mega refineries, and I wonder where those will be built to begin with.
I think the matter is a discussion that the committee has made as proposals, and they have been endorsed by Parliament. They will then lead to action by the relevant institutions. For an example, we expect the Department of Mineral Resources to give its take on the matter and how to process such, including the fact that it will have financial implications. It will then require the Department of Finance. It might, at a longer stage, will require that government has made a commitment to ensure that there's infrastructure development. And we think that part of purposely the infrastructure development could be to look on the issue of mega refineries in order to ensure that there is enough fuel security in our country. But also you look at other alternatives, because not necessarily mean government may have to go on its own. They may even consider going into partnership with some of the private sector people who may have an interest in the industry.
The other challenge, though, with the building of mega refineries, as is being suggested, is that it will be more of a long-term intervention, and South Africans need the prices to drop tomorrow.
Look, it doesn't mean if it's a long-term process, it will never be long-term, will always be long-term. The fact that you are in 2022 doesn't mean you won't have a problem in 2022. So foresight planning is part of the issues. If you look at the report, it doesn't only talk about long-term, it gives some of the issues that are low-hanging fruits, short-term, medium, and long-term. So if you look, yes, the issue of refineries is not something that will come tomorrow. But we can't pick and choose and say this one, because it's long-term, it doesn't have an impact. In fact, we are where we are, simply because there's not been foresight planning. Look at the typical example. If we had mega refineries, at the time of COVID-19, when you look at the cost of fuel and oil prices were at the lowest, quality plummeted. We could have organized enough resources, put it on our reserves, so that when situations like this one arises, we take it. So long-term planning should remain a high priority, so that in future, even if we are faced with the short-term challenges, in future we can be able to say, with this kind of an intervention, we had foresight and now we are reaping the reward.
Fuel prices at the moment are soaring globally as a result of Russia's invasion of Ukraine and subsequent Western sanctions on Russia, right? Do you think that the South African government should have been able to foresee 1-2 decades ago that there may perhaps come a point where there is such geopolitical difficulty that affects us in such a real, everyday way?
Well, I would want to enter that terrain, but from where I'm sitting, anything is possible in this world. The truth of the matter is that between me and you, we have to argue whether that provides a disadvantage or it provides an opportunity, for an example. I think our geopolitical differences may be the ones that will determine what course of action, because one might argue and say it is now opportune time as part of the BRICS nations to ensure that we source a huge part, a large part of our fuel from Russia, because it is at this time that we can be able to look at the advantages it will bring to us. Unfortunately, the other view will come and say it actually means you are taking side on the conflict, and therefore you are exploiting at the expense of the other country. So I wouldn't want to enter that political space at this stage. But for me, South Africa must seize every opportunity that it gets that gives advantage to it for the benefit of its own people. And that's the mantra that you get across the continent. No country takes decisions on the basis of moral ethics and moral standing. It takes those ethical and moral standing on the basis that it will stand to benefit its countries major conflicts on oil in the globe as a result of interest of individual countries. And that is exactly, we are not saying we must not look at those things, but also we must look at what do we stand to benefit as a nation.
Let's come back then to what you referred to earlier as low-lying fruit, the more immediate term interventions. One of the suggestions is around the freezing of a tax as far as the fuel levy is concerned. Some are saying, well, let's relook how funding works for the road accident fund. Which of those is most attractive?
Look, all of them. Let me give you an example. For an example, the matter is that we're saying shift the road accident fund mechanism, stick with it, but shift it from the fuel prices. Why do we say so? If you look at the permutation and the effect of the road accident fund, it does not only affect the increase in fuel prices, by implication, it affects the entire value chain, be it your inflation challenges, be it your food security challenges, be it your transport costs, be it your input costs as far as manufacturing and industrialization is concerned. So we then say, even if you were to remain with the road accident fund, locate it somewhere where this kind of permutations may not find expression, because by the nature of it, it is not necessarily a road accident fund in the context of what we understand. Road accident fund should be on the basis of those who have got the potential to cause road accidents. And there is no way if you buy your own paraffin, you will cause an accident. There is no way if you buy if you buy a generator at home, then you must be charged on the basis of a road accident fund. And there is no way if you buy an electric car, when you look at it, which is what some of the recommendations the committee was making, there is no way you can cause an accident by road accident by virtue of having a generator. So we say some of those things, we are not necessarily saying do away with them. We say relocate them somewhere, even what the mineral insurance. Look at that, do the fast tracking, but for now we said move the road accident fund where it is in any way administered under the Department of Transport. Let it be linked to a licensing regime.
Right.
Take away the 15% of the road freight, for the freight, which is an old apartheid thing, and you say engage with them, take away that system, because we don't think it works for the South African people.
It's been several months now, or a few months at least, since government said work was underway to try and review the calculation of the fuel price in South Africa. Do you think it's taken a fair amount of time, or is it too long now? Because people have been waiting.
Look, don't put me in trouble. All what we appreciate is the fact that the parliamentary process now has gone through. It has been accepted, and we expect from where we are. Remember, we are a committee of parliament. We are not of the National Assembly. We are not the National Assembly. We expect now our leadership in parliament will start to ensure that there is an effective application of what parliament has agreed to, and be able to start a process that will relieve our people from the battle.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to speak as if I'm part of the leadership of parliament. I think from where we are sitting as a committee, we have done our part, but we will continue then on the issues that will require our own continuous engagement with the process. For example, engaging other portfolio committees like the Portfolio Committee on Finance, as well as the Portfolio Committee on Transport. Those are some of the issues that we can do from a committee point of view. We will continue to pursue them, but the overall principle of the committee's recommendation, we expect our leadership in Parliament to ensure that there is effective implementation of those and responses in the event that they are challenged.
All right.
In terms of implementation.
Sahlulele Luzipho, thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
Thank you very much.
Still to come, we'll speak to the Human Settlements Minister, Mameloko Kubai, when we return about